like to read books. Go fuck yourself.
Well, actually. Wow. Welcome to Loose Stool, everybody. This is Matt. I am sitting here talking to Nick, and I see you sitting on... Yeah, I did it again. Fucking A. I see you sipping on something.
Sitting on something right here, buddy.
I see you sipping on something. What you got?
It is the Loose Stool podcast.
Yep. Keeping it loose.
Oh, yeah. Real loose. And the stool. But yeah, what I'm drinking, I know what you're trying to say, so I'm not going to make you have to try to repeat the question, because I'm not so sure you'd get through it a second time even. But
thanks for the fucking confidence.
I'm just fucking with you. But you know, I got my Big Ballard Red Hook IPA. Red Hook to the top, to the moon. All right, Red Hook's the shit. But I also, you know, you've heard me talk enough about Red Hook. I do have something nice here today. I'm not sure if I'll get to it in the podcast, but I want to give it a shout out, and that's a Stella Artois European-style cider, which is a really good cider. I had some cider a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if that recording actually went out or if that's when we had to scrap, but this cider, I mean, it's made by a well-known brand or whatever, but man, that is some good shit. So Stella Artois European-style cider, go get yourself some. What you having?
You're drinking that wife beater beer, huh? I told you that story, didn't I?
What's that?
I said you're drinking that wife beater beer, huh?
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that story.
I don't know if I told it on the...
tell it again, because I do think that got left out.
I don't think I told that on the air, but yeah, a dude I met
That's what I mean, yeah.
A dude in Texas I met was telling me years ago that he lived in Spain for a stretch, and he was over there, he had like 2 Spanish roommates, and he got a 6er of Stella Artois and put it in the fridge, and when his roommate got home, he opened the fridge and said, "Who bought the wife beater beer?" Which, like, it's funny when you think about that. Like, over there, that's like the Busch Light of Europe, you know. Whereas, like, same as when we ship Budweiser over there, it's like, this is premium American lager. But I just thought that was funny. That, like, that's the wife beater.
Well, and it's really funny to think about Stella in that way, because if you know the glasses, and everybody knows these glasses that every bar that has Stella has, the big, like, giant looking wine glass, like goblet sort of thing that you serve it in, you don't see many wife beaters walking around drinking their beer out of like a fancy like chalice like that.
Well, you do in Spain because they're better than us.
Well, I was going to say, but over there, that glass does not look as fancy. Like,
right.
To us, it looks very fancy, but they got, you know, you go over there, every single drink, every beer has its own glass. Like, if you want to drink whatever you buy over there properly, you need to have, like, a glass, like, a cabinet of glassware, like, the size of both of our houses, just to keep track of all the glasses that you need to have, you know, like, to drink your fucking drink properly. These people, they don't fucking...
What people?
They know. If you're one of them, you know I'm talking about you. I don't even know what that means.
That makes it better?
Oh, but shit. Sure, yeah, it's better. It could be worse, yeah.
To answer your question before I cut you off, I'm rolling around with the regular over here. I got myself a little rocks glass of Jim Beam.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. And you got the fancy glass out, too. I don't know that I've never called attention to this before, but you actually drink out of a proper tumbler.
Yeah.
Does that even have the cuts along the edge?
It has
that's
the cuts.
that's
I got the rocks in it. Yeah,
that is a proper tumbler of booze.
I've gone much higher class than my early 20s when I used to drink a liter of Old Thompson out of the fucking bottle.
Well, so I was going to say, I'm used to you tipping the bottle, and I think you've been drinking it this way ever since we've been recording, but I just hadn't noticed, and like, look at you classy motherfucker, with your nicely your cut crystal glass, drinking your Jim Beam.
Drinking out of cups, being a bitch. What you been up to this week, buddy?
Oh, man. Nothing too exciting. It's just been pretty much a regular week. You know, we obviously got the the news of Trump and the the lack or him being acquitted, I should say, and just kind of following the news and this and that. But to be honest, not too much of an exciting week. What have you been up to?
I mean, kind of the same. Like, I got another fucking eye infection, which, like, I don't think you can even really see. Like, it still sucks though. I don't know what is going on. I actually made a point to throw out the pillow that I've been sleeping on, and I got a new one because, like, this can't continue. So,
have you been scratching your eye after you wipe your ass?
No, that's pink eye.
Okay, good. I just wanted to get that out of the way just to make sure. So, okay, we're good there. So that's not the
big
problem.
Of a piece of shit, man. Come on. But but no. Speaking of being beautiful, I did join a dating app, and I'm not proud of it. But hell, like I'm not great at initiating that kind of thing. So I got on Bumble. And here's an observation that
is that the one where the ladies actually have to talk to you first? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
I like that idea. I haven't tried that app yet. I like that though.
Yeah, because I'm a pussy, and like I don't have that social confidence to just say, "Hey, you want a drink?" And also, it's Corona time, so I'm not going to the bar. And fuck you, like message me. You want this?
When you said Corona time, I thought you were talking about the beer for a second.
But one thing I've noticed about this dating app especially, but like really any dating app, I used one years ago that never really came through with anything. Like basically everyone on OkCupid, all the women were from West Bend, had 4 kids, didn't have a job, and bared striking resemblance to Seth Rogen. But there's some cuties on this one. But I have noticed that all of them, like seriously, like 95% of the women that I see on there are all either, like most of them are registered nurses with the occasional like psychiatrist or dental hygienist in there. And I never knew that nurses were so lonely. So like here's my all-powerful advice out to the world here. Hit on your nurse. You know, people don't do it, I think. I think people don't do it because it seems like the wrong time. It seems awkward because she's taking your blood pressure or whatever. But you know what? She's taking your blood pressure. Elevate hers. I'm sure there will be no negative repercussions from this advice whatsoever.
It couldn't possibly go wrong. You know, not in these days. Yeah, hit on your... Go ahead, hit on your nurse. See what happens. Well, this reminds me of the time that I had to get my testicles checked, actually, about 5 years ago because, I had a bit of a growth happening, and I had to go get it checked out, and it's a very uncomfortable and awkward situation. You go into this room, and they give you a towel, and they're like, okay, pull down your pants, and then slip your penis, like, up under this towel so that, like, that's out of the way, but you leave your balls hanging out. And, like as if that's not uncomfortable enough, a very attractive nurse comes then to walk into the room to examine my balls. And she puts that fucking ultrasound shit on there, gets them all lubed up, and is just fondling my balls.
See your baby.
Just looking for what's wrong. This is just a very, professional, typical interaction, but like she was very attractive and she was fondling my balls, and I'm just sitting there under the most insane anxiety, like think about your grandma, think about your mom,
baseball,
like don't now get a boner, like think of keep it down, buddy, keep it down. This is not sexual. You shouldn't even be thinking about anything sexual at this point, So then I had to have like questions about my own like motivations, I guess you would say, of like, I'm there getting checked for cancer and all I can think about is getting laid. Like, That's a problem in itself,
You want to see something else that can grow on me?
No.
That wasn't a direct question to you.
No, I know. I'm just saying no to that line in that situation. I wasn't saying no to you. I was saying no, do not. Maybe it's okay to ask your nurse if she wants to go get some coffee or go get lunch, but I don't think when she's ultrasounding your balls, you go, you want to see something else to grow on me? So I just wanted to like draw the line, in between the two extremes of this scenario. Asking for lunch or coffee, maybe okay. Asking if they want to see your dick get hard while they're checking you for cancer, probably not okay. I think that's a fair.
You got to draw a line. You got to draw a line in your balls that used to be your vagina before you grew a penis in the womb. That's the takeaway here.
Yeah, sure. The penis is just like one big clitoris.
You know that's correct, right? Like that. You know how everyone's got a line.
No, I know. Yeah. That's why I said it. I didn't say it out of the blue.
For more medical facts, continue to listen.
Just don't start with so.
No, yeah.
I do it too. That wasn't against you. I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry, I just fucked you up.
Man, I was gonna start it with so too. So now I'm rethinking. All right, here we go. You ever notice how the highest levels of like hometown pride tend to come from places that are real shitty? Like, I was driving through Beloit the other day, and like, I'm sorry if you live in Beloit, not because I'm about to shit on it. I'm just sorry.
I love the way you said Beloit. You put so much stank on the word Beloit. I was driving through Beloit the other day.
I'm sorry if
it does deserve that level of stank.
I'm sorry if you live in Beloit, and it's not because I'm about to shit on Beloit. It's that I'm sorry that you live in Beloit. But
it's the whole I-90 corridor.
Yeah.
It's that whole, it's Janesville, it's Rochester, or is it Rochester in Illinois? It's that whole I-90 corridor.
Yeah, but like, I was driving through there, and there's all these signs of, like, Beloit proud, and, we stand with our town and all that bullshit. Like, okay. Like, I understand if you're from, like, I'm not shitting on you if you live in a shit place because you're broke. I live in a shit place because I'm broke. But let's calm down on the fucking hooray about being in a shitty spot because you want to make it better. Like I'm not saying like don't have pride in your life, but like if you know your town sucks. Like years ago, I talked to this woman online. She lives in Gary, Indiana. And I made some comment about, like, how Gary sucks. Gary does fucking suck. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've ever been there, but Gary sucks. I got off the freeway, and there was a mattress in the road, and every building is boarded up. And she's like, well, that's just the downtown part. Like, really, Gary is nice. Like, I have a lot of pride in my hometown. Like, you shouldn't. Like, and a lot of these small towns will latch on to a thing like, in Gary, it's like, well, we have the house that Michael Jackson grew up in. Like, oh, really? You have an old, dilapidated house that an old man used to beat his children in. Great for you. Like, how many other houses like that do you have in town that aren't famous?
Well, Matt, I'm going to have to tell you right now, I think we're about to have our first debate on air because I actually completely disagree with this entire premise that you're putting up here. And it goes back to an idea that I've thought about for a long time called localism and like how much we should care about where we're from and the places. Now, I want to draw a line here because I'm a person who moved away from my hometown very far away, and I found a place that is more in tune with the way that I think about the world. And I think every person should be allowed the chance. I just, as a caveat before I get into my main point, like, if you need to move to get to somewhere that's better for you, I don't think there's a problem. But I think we have a huge problem in our society with every person wanting to go to the next place, with not having pride in where they're from and just thinking like where they're from is shit. So what we do is like we look for that next city that has it going on. We look for that next place that like the people there already figured it out. So I'm just going to go there and I'm just going to ride on their coattails instead of having pride in the place that I'm from and the place that, maybe some